thank you. I would like to thank my mom and my brothers and sister and my mentors and my director for put me in this role. Thank you so much. You love me.
And now, coming to you from the K2 Studios in San Diego, California, it's the world-famous Kris and Christine Show.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? How y'all doing today? I am Kris.
And I'm Christine, and welcome to the 16th episode of the Kris and Christine Show. Do.
Wow, number 16. And yes, 16 is also a lucky number. You know why it's a lucky number, actually?
I don't know why.
In California, as far as I still know, you get your driver's license at 16. Is that right?
That's true. Yes, you do.
Well, there you go.
There you go. 16 is a lucky number for you. And we have other lucky numbers that we're going to talk about this episode because we hit some lucky numbers this week, didn't we, Kris?
Ooh, yes, we did, didn't we?
Yeah, we definitely did. We want to celebrate with you, our super loyal listeners, for helping us achieve a really big milestone for the Kris and Christine Show. Are you ready? Are you ready for this, Kris?
Yeah, I'm born ready, baby. What you got?
All right. So for the last couple of weeks, friends, we have been anticipating that we were going to approach this big milestone, and we hit it and exceeded it this week. And that is to achieve a total of 2,000 listens across our podcast episodes.
Really? 2,000?
You know this.
I know. I'm just playing it up, you know.
We hit over 2,000 listens across all of our podcast episodes. We are actually right now at 2,076 listens across all 15 episodes.
Fantastic.
I know.
And who would think that I thought we'd be lucky to get maybe, 5 or 10 listens, you know?
Yeah, way to set some high expectations there, babe.
Well, you got to set it low, so you do go like mediocre or at least a little high.
Set high expectations and exceed them. Come on, goal setter.
Yes. Yeah, but you got to think realistically here. And I was like, yeah, our family would listen and things like that, but other people are listening too. And that's awesome. I love it. Thank you guys for listening. Thank all you guys for listening. Don't stop listening, by the way. You keep moving. We're going to plug one of these things out every week if we can, and we have so far stuck to it, and here we are.
We definitely have, and we've hit finishing the 4-month mark, and in that time...
4 months?
Yeah.
What?
Not 4 minutes, 4 months.
You know what I mean? 4 months already?
Yeah, we have. And get this, Kris. I know you helped me look this up, but can you believe that we have had listeners across a total of 10 countries?
Wait,
10 countries.
I don't think I can even name off 10 countries.
So, friends, thank you for everybody in the USA that has been a faithful listener. Also, our friends in Canada, Spain, Australia, the United Kingdom, Mexico, Norway, India, Hong Kong, and the Netherlands have all joined us on this journey in our first 4 months.
Wow, our podcast has landed in every one of those countries.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. If you think about it, we are truly world famous.
The world famous Kris and Christine Show. Thank you very much.
Wow. This is awesome. This is kind of like surreal to think about.
I know. It's so exciting. We've been watching the numbers increase steadily over the last couple of months and just really staying true to ourselves and what we wanted with this podcast, which is just to have fun with it and to share our
This
journey.
is like a fun hobby that we do. We do this for you guys to have fun with it. And it's something that we do together. And I just thought of it out of the blue. Like, let's do a podcast. And I didn't know what we were going to do or how to even do this thing. But I kind of slapped it together and here we are.
Well, you did more than slap it together. There's been a lot of research, everybody. Kris has been amazing. If you don't know this, he is our producer. He's the audio engineer.
Yep,
he does all of the technical work.
Yep.
I support him with content creation, but we do that together, and I support with social media. But really, he is the brains behind the whole operation. So, Kris, this is all because of you.
Oh, thank you. I would like to thank my mom and my brothers and sister and my mentors and my director for put me in this role. Thank you so much. You love me.
This is our own Kris and Christine Show podcast awards. We are the only winners.
Yes, that's awesome. Fantastic.
Well, before we move on, I do want to also give a shout out to some of our top cities from across the 4 months.
Ooh, of course.
Are you ready for shout out?
Of course I am.
Shout
Are you guys
out.
ready? Are you guys out there listening? Here you go.
All right. So our top 5 cities were Los Angeles,
Of course, they're big.
San Francisco,
Ooh, just as big.
Clovis, California.
I'm not know where that is, but
It's just around Fresno, Central California.
Okay.
El Cajon, which
Okay.
is in our backyard.
Right.
San Diego.
Okay.
And that was our top 5.
Top 5.
But then some of our other top cities across the country included Rochester, Minnesota,
Ooh.
Kingsville, Texas,
Okay.
and West Lafayette, Indiana.
Oh, we're kind of bouncing around a little bit.
I know. It's
Check
so
that
exciting.
out. It is kind of exciting to know that we're kind of being played in these different little markets, you know?
Yeah, it makes me wonder about the lives of our listeners. Like, I want to know more about them. We get emails from you all, but not everybody. And we'd love to know, like, what is it that keeps you listening? What is it that makes you laugh? So we definitely want you to reach out to us, and you can reach out to us on a number of different ways. And one of those platforms is through social media, right, Kris?
Right. Yeah, we do have our Instagram page and Facebook, I believe, too. And also, you can get a hold of us the old-fashioned way via email.
Right.
You know.
So we have lots of different ways you can reach out, and we definitely want to hear your stories because, as you heard last week when we were in episode 15, we had some fun interviews, and we are looking for other interested people that would like to be part of our podcast through interviews. So if you have a cool hobby, if you have a unique interest, if you have something that you'd like to share more with us, reach out to us and let's chat. And you never know, you might just end up as a featured guest on a future episode of the Kris
and being
Christine Show.
the producer of the show, I can put that on. I'll set you guys all up. We'll figure it all out. Christine's pretty good at setting things up. I'm pretty good at making sure all the gizmos work. You know, all the buttons are pushed and the microphones are hot, as they say in the industry.
Microphones are hot. Check, sound check. 1, 2.
Yes.
Yeah, well, you've done a great job with that, Kris. And so, friends that are listening, reach out to us. We love to hear your stories and love to have you as part of the Kris and Christine Show.
Fantastic. And when we get back, we got a few hot topics, like always, and we'll get into them right after this. The Kris and Christine Show is available everywhere on Google Play with Google Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and iHeartRadio.
And now it's time for Hot Topics. Do.
Woohoo! Hot topics. What you got today, baby?
Actually, Kris is coming in hot with our first hot topic, and all I have to say is Baby Yoda.
What?
Baby Yoda.
You haven't even seen The Mandalorian.
I haven't seen... What? DeLorean? Back to the Future? What are you talking about right now?
Oh, gosh. What am I going to do with her? You know...
Tell me what that word is again.
The Mandalorian.
What is that?
It's a new show on Disney Plus.
No, it sounds like the Mandalay Bay in Vegas and like the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Well, that's probably they came up with the name. I have no idea.
Mandalorian,
Well-
Crazy.
Yeah. Oh, what'd you say? Excuse me? What's your language? No, we're talking tonight about this new streaming service called Disney Plus, named after this little small company, just a small little mom and pop company called Disney.
Yeah.
Maybe you've heard of them, maybe not. I don't know. But they have this new streaming service called Disney Plus.
It's thebomb.com.
Yes, it is. Now, Disney Plus is not the first, and then it's not the only streaming service that you can watch on your on the interweb, on whatever device you want to use.
On the interwebs.
Yes. So we're talking about streaming services and how a lot of people are actually cutting the cord and not using traditional cable and satellite providers. I do. I have a little bit of both. I don't have like all of the streaming services that are available because there's ones I had no idea they even exist.
Right. Well, the conversation came up because Kris and I are talking about like who has what as we're looking at merging our lives together and like who has what accounts. And I don't have traditional TV at my apartment. I don't have like cable or anything like that. I haven't since I moved to San Diego 4 years ago. But what I do have is a Roku streaming stick.
Right, like it's like a box that you can like get stuff on. It's like the gateway between you and the internet to get the streaming stuff.
Right. I mean, I still have to pay for all of the little services on there like Netflix and Prime Video and other things that Kris is going to go over. But he has actual, like, is it called cable anymore?
Yeah, there's a few different ways you can do it.
Okay, tell me.
Far as I know, you can go with the old-fashioned cable, where the actual cable company runs a physical cable to your house. And I believe through that one cable, I think my parents still do this, everything, your internet and your TV and your everything runs through the same wire.
Isn't that kind of old school?
I believe they still use coax cable for that, but a lot of them now use a fiber optic or fancier wires and stuff. So you get
like,
I know, one
head.
over your head, talking about big numbers, but that's how you get the HD and no, I meant like 4Ks and 8Ks and whatever it is now. Is 8K a thing? I don't know.
I like 14Ks and 24Ks that have diamonds set in them.
That's the only case she knows is with Ks that go bling bling. Mm-hmm. But there's different ways you can do it. You can do that. You can pay for your internet, regardless of if you cut the cord. I mean, if you have TV or not, and you just have regular internet, which you had, right? Just the plain internet.
Yeah, I have regular internet. It's like, it's fast. I guess they just put fiber optics in the apartment, and so it's supposed to be fast. I don't know.
Well, let's see, you have a physical wire somehow running to the house or running to the building, right? And then it goes to your unit. So you physically have internet going to the house. And when you do the internet is you don't actually have like a TV service. It's just internet only, right?
Right. Yeah. So when I moved down here, I actually didn't have a TV for the whole first year. It was just a decision that I made as after my divorce and all of that. I just wanted to focus on journaling and like being present and all that. However, when I was gifted a TV from a friend.
Ooh, a gift?
I did get it. It was beautiful. Big Sony Bravia TV.
What?
Yeah. A friend that was moving didn't want a TV. And she's like, do you want it? And I'm like, okay. But I didn't want to pay for cable service. And so I was like, well, what can I do to just get Netflix on my TV? And I heard about this cool thing called Roku streaming. And so I went to Walmart and I bought it.
Perfect. And then you can actually use the remote, and it's pretty easy to do, I bet. You just like click, and it's like right there.
Yeah, you just have to set up your Netflix account. Well, you get this menu of different streaming apps you can connect to.
Okay.
But some of them are free that come with Roku, and then there's these other ones that charge. And that's where I didn't realize how expensive it could get.
Right, because you think people say, oh, I'm cutting the cord. I'm going to get rid of cable, and I'm going to save all this money just doing the streaming. And that's what a lot of people do when they go into it. But people... I hate to break it to you. If you were to get every streaming service that's on this list I have in front of me, it's like a car payment. I kid you not.
Seriously?
Oh, yes, it is.
But there's only like 2 or 3 things, right? Like Netflix and Prime.
No, I'm looking at this list, and I don't know the exact number, but I'm going to guess it's like 50. I don't know.
What?
Yeah,
get out of here.
I had no idea there was this many actual like different streaming service that you can subscribe to. I thought there was like Netflix and Prime and Hulu, and now they have Disney Plus, but I didn't know there's a bunch of ones I never heard of.
So do people actually like let go of their cable and just pay all these little mini subscriptions?
Well, I guess it does. I actually do myself. I personally, let me tell you what my little setup here. It's not fancy, everybody. It's not flashy and dashy. What I got is I have DirecTV, satellite, and I have like the basic package. So I get all the major networks, and I get all like the major cable stuff, like the TNT and the whatever and stuff.
Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, for Christine. I got Hallmark at home.
Countdown to Christmas.
All our Christmas movies, and I got like AMC,
Yep.
and all that good stuff. And then I have the internet comes through too on a separate line, fiber optic or whatever it's called. I don't know. It's got the internet package. I got high-speed internet for the house, Wi-Fi, all that fun stuff. Now, as far as streaming services go, I actually only have, let me see, Netflix. I got like the Netflix that has the HD. It's not the basic one. There's one above, like the HD one. And then I also have Amazon Prime. I think it comes with my Amazon Prime delivery service. I believe you do get Amazon TV with it.
Right, Prime
but
Video.
But I hardly ever use it. And I think that's it. Oh, no, I got Disney Plus now. That's right. I just got the Disney Plus one. So that's all I have.
And Kris is such a good fiance. He shares his Disney Plus with me.
Of course.
Thank you so much, babe.
Oh, you're welcome, sweetie.
Well, so on my TV, I have, I started out with just my Roku streaming stick and I picked like 15 free channels. But then I synced up my Netflix account, which I share with my son. And then as we got into it, there was shows on Hulu that he wanted access to, and he's like, Mom, can you do Hulu? And I was like, sure. So I did the free trial, and then I was like, okay, it's only like $5 or $6 a month, whatever. So I signed up for that. And then for a while, I had this Christian movie channel. It was called PureFlix Media.
Was it part of the Roku free package?
No, I paid for that, and then I canceled it.
Was that a separate subscription?
Yeah, it was a separate subscription, but it was available on the PureFlix or on the Roku. And then last Christmas, or maybe 2 Christmases ago, I heard that Hallmark started to have a streaming app.
Yes,
and
they did.
I don't have Hallmark Channel, and I love the Christmas movies. And so at Christmas time, I signed up for it. And lo and behold, I forget over the next couple of months that I have it. So I still end up paying for it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I pull it back up at this time of year and I'm like, oh, Hallmark. But then there's that. And, you know, it just goes on and on. Amazon Prime Video, I can link to that, rent more movies. And now,
right. And I think almost every single one of these on this list here, like ones you mentioned, I think you can watch them on every device.
Right.
Phone, tablet, computer, and TV.
But now the thing is, when I add all of that up for all of those streaming apps, I think I'm paying like
What you would pay for if you had cable.
$75, maybe $80 a month. But that's way cheaper than you pay for cable.
Well, when you used to have cable, how much did you actually pay? Do you remember?
I don't know. That was like forever ago. But what do you pay?
I have a pretty good deal. I think I have a pretty good deal. I think I must have got a like promotional plan. You know, they always hook you in with those promotional plans, and then like after those expire, they like jack them up. You know, I think I'm still under the threshold or whatever. I literally pay like for 4 TVs. 4 cable boxes or whatever for the dish to work on for each TV, the DVR, all that stuff, plus the internet, plus the Wi-Fi, plus the modems, plus all that stuff for my house. I think I pay like around $100.
What? I'm paying like $80 just for my little 4 channels, plus $50 for internet.
Right, but I'm not including my streaming services.
True
I'm just talking about like the regular DirecTV plus the internet services I have. I pay maybe $100, you know, somewhere around there, $110, somewhere around there. But I'm on a promotional thing. I think if I didn't have that, it'd probably be more. But that's what I pay. And I think if you get internet alone, it's like almost $100.
When did TV get so complicated? Like there was a point where you could just like have regular TV or cable, and now it's regular TV or cable or streaming services or all of these add-on packages, like all these sports packages.
Right. Well, they do still do that. When I got my DirecTV, they asked me which packages do you want. I said, just give me the basic one or whatever. I did that. But they do have better ones with like the sports packages or the movie packages or the HBO packages, and then it all kind of builds up. So I got like the basic. That's why I don't pay so much. Mine's pretty low. But here's the list of all the streaming services that you can pay for that we found as of 2019. Here we go. Are you ready, Christine?
Yes,
Are you
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Okay, of course, Netflix. Everybody can get Netflix. Netflix Basic is $8.99. Of course, you can upgrade for the high def for $15.99.
I didn't even know there was a high def. Does it make a difference?
Please.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, the HD I think also gives you the 4K option. I think for more. I'm not sure which one I have.
Again, you're talking about Ks.
Okay.
I mean, my name starts with a K, but and beyond that, unless it's gold.
Okay. We'll move on. Hulu. Now, Hulu's got two different versions. Hulu's got one with ads and one without. The without is $12 a month.
Okay.
Then you got Amazon Prime. It's $119 for the annual Prime membership, or $9 a month or something like that if you want to do just monthly. Apple TV, $5 a month. I didn't know they even had one. I guess that's a new one now. They just came out with was Apple TV. Disney Plus is the new one, and everybody loves it. I have it. I love it, and it is $6.99 a month.
Wow.
Do you love that?
Yeah, I do.
Well, for all the stuff that Disney Plus actually has, it's actually probably the best deal of all these things on here that I've heard, because Disney Plus has like almost every Disney movie that you can ever think of and imagine is like on there. Marvel, Disney, everything. And I got to mention Star Wars too, also on Disney Plus. Every Star Wars movie, I believe, is on there. And every single Star Wars cartoon and all the Star Wars related stuff, including the brand new show called The Mandalorian.
And I didn't even know there was a show. All I just know is I was on social media this week, and all of a sudden these pictures and memes of Baby Yoda started to pop up everywhere. And I said to Kris this morning, oh my gosh, I know what we've got to talk about on the podcast this week. We have to talk about Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda. Now, I don't know if it really is a Baby Yoda per se, but I think it's a creature like Yoda, but a baby version of that, I think.
But all I saw was like these Baby Yoda memes. I had no idea that this is a show on Disney Plus. And then Kris was like blowing my mind. He's like, oh yeah, babe. It's like, what is that word again?
It's called The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is the main character in the show. And he comes from, I guess, he is a Mandalorian, I think, if I follow it correctly.
Being of Mandalorian.
Maybe. I haven't really gotten that far into it, but I think that's what it is. So
that's
Disney,
where Baby Yoda comes from, and that's why everybody has the memes.
Yeah, it's a character in the new Disney show.
Got it.
So that's Disney Plus for you in a nutshell. That's only like $7 a month.
Yeah, $7 a month, which you can buy all at one time for the year. However, if we're adding that on top of Netflix and all of these other things, it really starts to add up.
Oh, yeah. It can get very expensive. And there's a big number on the end of this list. I'm going to give it to you.
Keep coming.
Now, here's some of those ones I have not heard of. It's called QBI. It's spelled with a Q. I have no idea. It said launches in April. I don't know what this one is.
So it's not out yet.
Yeah, it's probably like the rest of them. Here's another one. CBS All Access. It's $6 a month. Oh, and by the way, go back to that QBI. That was $5 a month. Starting package. CBS All Access is $6 a month. Now, CBS is already on TV, but this CBS All Access has got special shows that you cannot find on television, like that new Star Trek show.
This is crazy. It's like, I don't know. It reminds me of when we used to have like old-fashioned TV, but imagine if for every one of those channels that you liked, like NBC, CBS, or PBS, that you had to pay to watch it.
Well, speaking of NBC, Peacock is another one. I guess because the Peacock little symbol, NBC. Mm-hmm. That one looks like it's to be announced, the pricing, but it looks like it's probably going to be around $10 to $12.
Wow.
Okay, HBO has got one, obviously. Mm-hmm. $15 a month.
What?
Yeah, HBO Max. It says it launches 2020. Huh. Showtime, $11 a month. Stars, $9 a month. Cinemax, also as Hulu or Amazon at Prime as an add-on, is $10 a month. Epix, that must be the movie channel, it is $6 a month.
Okay, I'm adding all these numbers up as quickly as I can in my head, and I'm already like losing track and then getting overwhelmed, thinking, do I want to put my kid through college or do I want to watch TV?
Well, yeah, you might have to do that. Now, if you like sports, ESPN Plus is $5 a month. But ESPN's already channel. They must have like every game or something.
Maybe.
I don't know. $5 a month.
Or maybe because it's mobile. Maybe because you could take it with you.
Oh, that could be it. Maybe you pay for that pretty much. The WWE Network, if that's still a thing. Wrestling.
Yeah, it really is. My son loves it. He's obsessed.
Well, be ready to have him dish out $10 a month for that.
Nope.
Alone.
No, thank you. Fake news.
The DC Universe is $6.25 a month.
Do they even have enough content to like
I
have
don't
their
know
own channel?
I don't know what it is. Is it cartoons or
Is it like
movies?
anime?
It might be. I don't know. BTE Plus has one. $10 a month. Something called Acorn TV. It must be for the chipmunks. They must love this one. It's $5 a month. Is it $5 or acorns? I don't know. But here's one called BritBox. And I wonder if BritBox is for like the British.
Or maybe it's for the British shows. Maybe you can stream British shows like Downton Abbey and other types of things.
Well, it's possible.
Or like the Great British Baking Show. But that's on Netflix.
It's $7 a month for that. Now, here's one called Criterion Channel. It says movies. It's $11 a month. I don't know what that is. I guess it just gets a bunch of movies, maybe.
I don't know. I'm starting to lose track.
Mubi is one called Mubi. It says movies for $11 a month.
Mubi.
I'm sorry.
Moobi?
No, it's just It's just MUBI.
Oh, I don't know.
Mubi.
See, I haven't even heard of these.
Yeah, it says movies, and it's $11 a month. Now, here's one. I like the price on this one. It's called Canopy. It's spelled Kanopy.
Okay.
Canopy. It says movies, and the price is free. I can afford that one.
Yeah, it just makes you wonder what kind of content's on there.
Oh, there's a catch. I'm sorry. It says with a public library card or university login.
Oh, I have that. We can get that for free.
Okay, well, cool.
University.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Fandor. It says movies.
Okay, these are just starting to sound bizarre, Kris.
I know. I'm not making these up, by the way. It sounds like I am, but no, I'm not. It says it's $6 a month. Sundance Now. Now, I'm wondering if it's all like the new Sundance movies.
Probably.
Yeah, $7 a month.
All right. So, bottom line, after you get through all these, you have like 2 more pages to read. But instead of reading them all, just like hit us with them.
Okay. PBS Passport.
How much is it going to cost me?
$5 a month.
All of this.
Wait, I thought PBS was free. Like, I think it's supposed to be like the public
television.
That's what I thought it was.
Yes, it is. But they have other things that I don't know.
Yeah,
but
$5 worth of other things, I guess.
Overall, Kris, hit me with the bottom line. If I want everything on this list, because
we got more to get through here. We got 2 more pages of stuff to get through.
I can't handle it.
Yes, you can. We're almost done.
I'm overwhelmed.
Oh, you will be. Okay. History Vault. The History Vault sounds interesting. It's $5 a month. Here you go. Your favorite. The Hallmark Movies Now.
Yes, I have that one.
Well, how much is it? Do you know?
$14.99.
$5 a month. So, he must have got ripped off. He was about the wrong one.
Maybe I should check my bank statement. I think I only pay $5 a month, but I don't even remember.
There's an annual fee of like $60 a month. Maybe you're paying that. I don't know.
I don't know.
Broadway HD. It says theater. I wonder what that is. It's $9 a month. AMC Premiere.
Oh, I like AMC. I keep getting those ads because I'm an AMC Stubs member.
Okay.
Like, I go to the AMC movie theaters because they have great deals on Tuesdays.
I don't know. Is AMC theaters the same as AMC the network?
Yeah, because I keep getting the. Oh wait, no, that's American Movie Classics.
Oh, maybe AMC Premiere. It's $5 a month.
Yeah, that's like with like the Lone Ranger and Desperado and all of those types of things.
Shudder. It says one called Shudder.
That sounds scary.
Yeah, it's horror from AMC Networks. It's another $5 a month. B&R Live.
Wait, hold on, pause.
Okay.
So AMC has a channel, and then you have to pay extra to watch the scary stuff. So
I guess. I don't know.
You don't get to watch everything. You get to watch this set, and then you have to pay us more to be scared.
Dish another $5 out a month.
Yeah, to be freaked out? No. No, thank you.
Well, B-R Live, Bleacher Report, is $10 a month. Oh, here's the one that everybody might be interested in. It is the NFL Sunday Ticket.
Yeah, so I used to have that when I was in Fresno. It was an add-on to my cable package.
Right. So it says on here, it says it's $24.50 a month.
Yeah.
But if you want to pay for it, I guess it's free with DirecTV packages, saying
Only on certain types.
Right, $293 or $395 per season.
Right. I remember we would shell out a big chunk of change to be able to have Sunday Ticket. We did it 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And then after that, I was like, heck no, Trader Joe. It's for like 8 weeks of the year. And then the response I got was, but we could like watch the training camps and like watch all of the film. And I was like, and no. End of story.
Well, if you like, if you like football, there's baseball has theirs too. It's also $25 a month for the baseball one, and the NBA has one too. They're a little cheaper. It's only $18 a month.
But add those all together. I mean, we're talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars here, Kris.
Yeah. Oh, if you like hockey, I know everybody in Canada, they love their hockey up there in Canada. It's $25 a month for their version. Now, if you like soccer, Fox Soccer Match, and your Ezekiel does, he likes soccer, that's $20 a month to get the soccer match
It's
pass.
expensive, and sometimes the matches you want to watch aren't even on those ones because they're covered by different networks.
Oh, wow. Well, you have to pay for those too, I guess.
Yep.
YouTube Premium. There's a YouTube is free, but YouTube has a premium package.
What does it give you?
Well, I know YouTube had a TV package. I don't know if this is what they're talking about. But they had a TV service like Netflix, like Hulu. They were going to dish out their own YouTube platform of network.
That's so crazy.
And you got a few networks on there, TV channels and that stuff. It's going to cost you $12 a month.
I thought you couldn't have full length like movies and things like that on YouTube because of like licensing.
Oh, check this out.
What?
Every movie I purchased on my Google account, because Google owns YouTube. If you log into my YouTube channel or my YouTube account, all my movies I purchased are available to watch through YouTube on the YouTube thing.
This is blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, I know. Well,
it's a conspiracy. They get you with free Google Home and Google Suite products and then shank you with the YouTube Premium.
Well, here's another one called VRV Premium. I don't know what that is. It says niche streamers or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anime site or something?
Oh, anime.
Okay, well, it's
Enough said.
$10 a month. And then another one called Tubi. It must be the competition to Mubi.
Tubi.
It's Tubi. And it's free. I can afford this one. It's free. Okay. I wonder what that's all about. Sony has one. It's called Sony Crackle. You've heard of this one?
No.
I've heard of the Crackle. I had the Crackle app on my tablet years ago. And it's got a very select few channels to watch and stuff. But it's free. It's cool. Ad supported, of course. And so far, your total, just for streaming alone.
Okay. Let me guess. I think that we're going to be at $280 if I get it all.
Just for streaming, you think?
All of everything.
No. Try a little more than that. It comes in a grand total of $353.43.
What?
Per month.
What?
Just for the streaming services.
Okay, but we're not going to get all of those things. Like,
oh, and by the way,
what?
To get those streaming services or to get any kind of streaming service, you need the internet.
Right.
And the internet usually costs at a basic cable package. It's around $50 a month. So that comes to a grand total of $448.41 per month you're going to pay to watch something on television.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's like a household grocery budget for a family of 5.
That's a car payment.
That is insane.
Think about it,
It's insane.
Now, that's if you got everything on that list. Not everybody gets everything, but if you were to get everything, that's you'd pay. And I bet people probably just get the big ones, like the Netflix, the Disney Plus, the Hulu,
then like maybe like one specialty thing. Like I get the Hallmark now. Somebody else may choose like the anime channel
or the sports one or the ESPN or the NFL.
But still, we don't even have time to watch what we have. Why would people be spending all of this extra money? Do they really have that much time to sit around and watch things like this?
I don't know. And I wonder with a lot of these too, if there's a possibility to record a lot of this stuff. If stuff comes in live,
I don't know.
Tape it, record it. Speaking of recording stuff, I look at my DVR the other day and I got stuff set from like different packages, different shows I used to watch. And they're like seasons I haven't even watched because I haven't even had a chance to.
This is so crazy. I think I need to like do an audit of all of the different streaming services that I have and really ask myself, how often am I using it? Is it really worth keeping? And then I have to ask the second question of, is this a year-long subscription that I already paid for? Or is this a monthly that I can like cut loose and free up some money in my
Honestly,
budget?
if I was going to tell you something, if I was had to choose one, if you're going to choose one of them and get rid of all of them, all the streaming services,
Don't make me choose one.
if I had to pick one, I'd probably would go with the Disney Plus. It seems like when I first heard about it coming out, and I just saw all the stuff they were going to be releasing on it, like all the major movies, all the Pixar, all the Star Wars, all the Disney stuff. It's just there's so much. And when you used to watch Netflix a lot, they would have some Star Wars, they would have some Pixar, but it was like 2 or 3 out of the thousands of shows. It's not that much. But you think about all the stuff they have, it's for $7 a month. I think that's cheaper than Netflix. That's cheaper than all of them.
Well, I will keep Disney Plus because I got
pay for
to
it? Is that why?
see, yes, but I also got to see firsthand Baby Yoda myself, and he's kind of cute, and I want to see what happens to him.
Christmas is coming, by the way, and I just looked up and found out that Baby Yoda is actually a very hot stuffed plush Disney Christmas toy.
Buy for me!
And they like sold out in minutes. Amazon doesn't have any more, and they can't. They had like 900,000 searches for it on Amazon the first week or whatever.
Oh my gosh, it's like the Tickle Me Elmo of 2019.
I wonder if they're gonna have it at the Disneyland like gift shops.
Oh my gosh,
they have to.
Baby Yoda.
You know. Oh, so much.
So
okay.
cute.
All right.
Well, I love talking about that. It's given me a new perspective on all things streaming. And all I have to say is thank you so much for buying us Disney Plus, and thank you so much for having cable so I can watch my Hallmark Christmas movies, because now I don't have to pay for that at home.
Oh, you're welcome. And you're all welcome.
And we'll be back right after this with our next hot topic. The Kris and Christine Show is now on Instagram at The K2 Show San Diego. Check out our latest pictures, videos, show teasers, and life updates on Instagram at The K2 Show San Diego. All right, Kris, and now we are moving on to our second hot topic.
Ooh, what you got today, baby? Give it to me, baby.
All right, so this is something that's very timely for people, and it is our holiday tipping guide for 2019.
Ooh, you mean like the restaurant, leaving a tip kind of stuff? Haircut, maybe?
It made me think about it from the restaurant. So Kris and I were getting ready to take the boys out tonight to a yummy Italian dinner, and I was thinking about tipping and thinking about how it's the holidays and how people must be really overworked when they're in restaurants, specifically near like shopping centers and things like that.
Oh gosh, I can only imagine.
Yeah, and so we were talking about that, and a couple weeks ago Kris and I were talking about how much do we tip at restaurants, and then I started to think about this holiday season. And servers aren't the only ones that get tipped during the holiday season.
Yeah, I think that like during the holidays in particular, it's probably people are always in the giving mood. It's when probably I think donations always seem to go up around the country. Tipping in general, I think, goes up around this time of year. Giving in general, because it's the giving season. And that's what it's all about. So what you got?
Well, so when I was growing up, I remembered that my dad, he owned his own business, and so he wouldn't tip, but he would give bonuses to his employees, and I would sit there with him.
Like a Christmas bonus?
A Christmas bonus,
No
like
way.
a cash Christmas bonus. And I remember sitting at home with him and watching him count out the money, and I'd help him put it into the envelopes, and we'd gift it to the individuals at the party. And I'd ask him, like, how do you decide who gets what bonus? And he had a formula for it. And so I said, well, do other people get bonuses at Christmas? And he said, well, anybody that's doing some type of work for you or service for you, you should be gifting them. And so I was younger and I was like, what? And I've grown up with that. And I was like starting to think this holiday season, I always try to do like homemade gifts, but I started to wonder what's actually supposed to happen for people that provide services like a housekeeper or a hairstylist. And Town and Country magazine actually has an annual holiday tipping guide.
Now, this is based kind of like, where do they get these numbers from? And tipping is kind of like, I feel like tipping is kind of like personal. So I think this kind of varies from person to person. It should be like not an exact science, right?
Well, yes. And that's what that goes into this holiday tipping guide is there's suggestions. And it's from a gal named Sharon Schweitzer. And actually, it's coming from the Emily Post Institute. Are you familiar with Emily Post?
Yeah, of course. I mean, sure. Please. Oh,
So
yeah.
Emily Post is like the guru for etiquette.
Of course she is.
She is. And so these guidelines are from the Emily Post Institute and from Sarah Schweitzer, who is an
That's
etiquette
Sarah.
expert.
Oh my goodness, she's a character. That's Sarah Schweitzer. She's always Schweistering stuff.
Schweitzer.
Oh, sorry.
But she's an etiquette expert. So we're going to talk through just a couple of different things when it comes to tipping etiquette, especially as we're approaching the holidays. Here's a couple of things from the Emily Post Institute that they say are factors to consider before you actually give a tip for the holiday season.
Now this goes for like any kind of service or
Well,
what?
I'll get into them.
Okay.
But I want to just give you a little bit of guidelines. They say take into consideration the quality and frequency of the service you receive,
Okay.
your relationship with the service provider, your location, tipping averages. So if you're in a very high cost city, that tends to be a higher tipping rate.
Oh.
Also, the number of years you've been using the service, and most important, also goes into this factor is your budget. They say you should
Well,
never.
yeah, if you're broke, you can't tip. What
Right.
do you do?
You should never feel obligated to go beyond what you can reasonably afford. However, another thing to consider is that if your budget does not allow for tips, consider heartfelt homemade gifts that others will value.
Like baking cookies and stuff?
Yeah, things like that. So the other thing that they say is any tip should also be accompanied with some type of a handwritten note. So you're not just handing cash as if it's like a
Or
regular
your
tip
business
at a
card.
restaurant. Right. But it's a thank you so much. And so we're going to get into some of the categories of who would get tipped.
Oh, like me, right?
You get tipped by my presence by having a fabulous fiance every day.
Okay.
All right. So domestic help, anytime a type of individual that's in the household, such as a cook, a nanny, a personal caregiver, or a butler, depending on their frequency, it could be between a week to a month's pay plus a gift.
Really?
That's if they're full-time domestic
wait.
help. Full-time. So, for example, if you had a full-time nanny living in your house
living your house.
and taking care of your kids,
Okay.
then typically you would give them between a week to a month's pay plus a gift.
No way,
Yep.
man. No way.
Absolutely.
That's too expensive.
No.
That's like 5,000% or something.
Okay, your numbers are off,
No,
but
they're not. I'm a mathematician, Mr. the whiz kid. You know
all right,
what I'm saying?
math whiz.
Yes.
But typically, so the general guideline is whatever amount of time, if you give them a fraction of that. So if they work for you 5 days a week, then tip them the equivalent of 1 week. So 5 days of pay as a bonus, as a tip.
Okay. All right. Well,
So you
whatever.
could think of it like a bonus too.
Okay. Okay.
All right. For a housekeeper, if they come once a week, then the equivalent of a day's pay or $50, whichever you feel most comfortable with. So $50.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
A barber or a hairdresser.
Okay.
Up to the cost of one haircut or a gift.
I don't do that, but okay. I tip normal. I don't like that's like the price of a haircut. Well,
Okay, but that's different. You go to Supercuts and you get a different person every
Superman,
time.
that's why.
Right. You go to Supercuts, you have a different person every time. I go to a hairstylist who I've been loyal to for 3 years. She and I see each other.
Oh, and by the way, shout out to my ladies at Supercuts. What's up? How you doing?
Shout out to my girl Joanna, who keeps my hair looking on point. But I go to see her every 4 to 6 weeks.
And you specifically request her, right?
No, like she's my person.
Oh, she comes to you?
No, I go to her
Oh.
to her her place, her
Right.
chair. She works with a number of others, but she's the only one I go to. I pre-schedule. And so the tipping guide would be that I would either tip her the amount of a session or give her a gift. I typically do a gift.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so babysitter, If they are a regular babysitter for you, then up to 1 evening's pay and a small gift from your children.
Yeah, okay, that's kind of cute. I love that. I love that idea. But the whole kids getting involved and kind of saying, thank you for watching us.
Yeah, so think about it. Like if you have a regular sitter, maybe they're coming over once a week or a couple nights a week, then a Christmas tip for them would be one night, you would double that and give them a gift from the kids.
Okay, cool.
Right? So it's reasonable.
I like it. I like that idea.
This is the one that I didn't know of, and I can honestly say I never did, and now I'm feeling super guilty, is a daycare provider. It says $25 to $70 for each staff member who works with your children and a small gift from your children.
Wow. What do you think? Just like throwing Benjamins out the window or what?
Well, I just remember when I needed daycare, I was paying a lot of money, and I always did provide a very nice gift, but I didn't tip.
Well, you know what? It's not like they,
Maybe
did
they
anything
hate
bad.
me.
Yeah, well, they're getting paid, right? So, I mean,
But then all of these people are, but they're in a service industry. So I think it's just a sign of care and of respect. But the next one is a personal trainer. Give them up to the cost of one session or a gift.
okay, sure. Yeah. I mean, but honestly, all these lists you just came up with, I bet you, of all the, say, personal trainer has how many people he's working with. Of all those people, how many people do you think are physically giving them a full training sessions?
I don't
with a
know.
pay?
Maybe just a gift.
As a gift. How many do you think are actually doing
Maybe they're
that?
giving a gift instead.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe 10%.
Of the people they trained. So, like,
Maybe.
if he trains 10 people, so one person actually does this.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so the next one, I do have a comment on this one. So a newspaper delivery person between $10 to $30
What?
or a small gift.
What did you just say?
Right.
A
Your newspaper delivery person.
What's that?
Okay, so growing up in small town California, a bunch of my friends in high school had paper routes. They would bike around town, and they still do, and they throw the paper every morning.
Paper, huh?
Yeah, like the old school, it was the Fresno Bee.
No, the Fresno what?
The Fresno Bee.
The Fresno what?
The little like bumblebee.
Oh, they said the Fresno bean.
Bee.
Okay.
Buzz. So my friends would throw the bee. And
okay.
so
Okay.
they would bike around, but at the holidays, they'd be going to collect for their subscriptions. And I remember my high school friends would be like getting ready for winter formal or whatever. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, I should be able to get that after I go collect. And I was like, what? Well, all of their people that they would toss the paper for would tip them like $5,
Okay.
$10, $15.
Okay.
And they would consistently get that. And they would have like 50 to 60 houses on their routes.
Okay, I got
So
you.
imagine
All right.
$5 to $20 to $30
Right.
as a high school kid.
So I guess people in the service industry must really love the holidays.
Well, I think a lot of them count on it for being able to provide for their own lifestyle. You know, people budget
Right.
around that. And so when they don't get, I mean, typically, depending on what occupation they're in, like a gardener, their business slows down during the holiday season because grass isn't growing as much. I mean, maybe leaves are falling, but that tipping, that gratuity actually helps them make ends meet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I follow you now.
All right, now here's another one that you might not have considered, and this is mail carriers, all right? Because we don't just have regular mail carriers. We have U.S. Postal Service, UPS, FedEx, and Amazon. And
Okay.
have you seen Amazon in the news lately about people gifting Amazon delivery people?
Yeah, I saw it on Instagram, I think. People are actually leaving little notes by the front door. It says, Amazon delivery dude, if you get this package or whatever, dance in front of my camera for me or something.
I saw another one where a lady was leaving a basket of goodies, and it said, thank you for all of your hard work this season. Please take some of these goodies.
But you know what? Those Amazon drivers are not the same one every time.
Right.
It rotates. It's all
Exactly.
random. So who knows?
Right. But if you're a business and maybe you have the same U.S. Postal Service delivery person, here's what the U.S. Postal Service says
Okay.
their employees can and cannot accept in terms of tips. So they may accept baked goods, homemade, store-bought, something that can be shared with the branch office. They can,
Their boss.
Yeah,
Their
they can
boss
be
can enjoy
given
it.
edible arrangements and gift cards for merchandise or services valued up to $20 per interaction. But They cannot have gifts that exceed $50 per calendar year, and you cannot give cash, Visa or MasterCard gift cards, or anything that could be used as cash.
Huh, that's weird.
Right, all those constraints.
Well, be on the safe side and just don't give them nothing.
Aw, don't say that. UPS.
You know what you should give them? Give them a nice hearty handshake and a thank you. Good job.
You're such a brat. UPS does not have a limit, and tipping is left to the customer's discretion. FedEx policy, their company policy discourages gift cards or cash. And what they said is the driver will politely decline the holiday gratuity, but if the customer is insistent, the driver may ultimately accept.
Well, yeah, I'm going to slip this 20 in my pocket and we'll pretend this didn't happen. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Now, there's a number of other categories, but the last one that I did want to talk about is teachers. And so here they recommend considering a group gift with parents where you pool funds.
Pool funds?
Pool funds, pool funds.
Okay, like a bunch of parents get together.
Right. Because here's the deal. If you have an elementary school child, that teacher has up to 35 children who all bring in little baked goodies and things like
apples.
that, which is very, very sweet. But as an educator, sometimes those things, like, I couldn't eat them. Sometimes they had nuts or whatever. And what I always loved were things that I could use for me personally. I loved to get like a $5 Starbucks gift card, or like a pack of highlighters, or
gift cards is a
things
good
like
idea because those are like fresh, food that's not going to go bad.
Right.
And Starbucks, I don't care who you are, anybody can use a Starbucks gift card.
Right. But I also know that for so many of my students, when I was a classroom teacher, that I knew that they were on a really tight budget. So the thing that was the most meaningful to me was a handwritten note. And I keep a lot of those. I still have them.
No way. You should like frame them or something.
I do have a couple of them. I have
blow a picture up and like do like a frame with like the note below it or something.
But anything that like had a story to it. So if a student came to me and said like, "Oh, I found this for you," or "I picked this at my grandmother's house and it was like a beautiful flower," it's really more about the thought than about like
the physical,
having anything.
Whatever.
Right. And I think that's pretty standard for any teacher. Nobody counts on getting like a ton of stuff or getting rich from any gifts from kiddos. More than anything, they just appreciate knowing that the families understand how much time that they pour into the lives of their kids.
It's like my kids too, when they buy me stuff for Christmas and stuff. They have this like at their school. They do this like
Santa's workshop thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what it's called, Santa's workshop. It's like this little store, and they send the kids in with like $5-10, maybe $20. You send them in there, and they have a bunch of little trinkets and little knickknacks, and they're nothing fancy or flashy, but it's just little thoughtful little gifts, like small stuff.
Right.
And they bring stuff back, whatever it is, a bookmark or a book or something, and it's kind of cute, and all that. And it's not a big trinket, but I love the thought and the actual appreciation that goes into when they actually buy that stuff. And my son Jacob gets so proud of that. He loves doing that.
He does.
He tells me all about it, how this is coming up soon. I can buy stuff for this person or that person and all that. And he really gets excited at picking out the right perfect gift for that right perfect person and putting a lot of thought into it.
And that's one of the things that we really try to instill into our kiddos as they're growing up, is especially during the holiday season, to be aware of the people around us and to show appreciation for them in whatever way we can. It doesn't always have to be monetary. So friends, if money is tight and you aren't able to put out funds to tip people, you are more than welcome to put together some type of heartfelt gift or a really heartfelt handwritten note to let somebody know what they're doing to help improve and enhance your life. Everybody loves to know that they're needed and appreciated.
Amen, sister. That is well said. I really appreciate it. And so, everybody does too.
On that note, Kris.
Yes.
I'm going to transition us, and I'm going to hop us right into
what we got.
Our Would You Rather is connected to this. So my question for you, Kris, after talking about that, is for you as an individual, for the people in your life, would you rather tip them or provide a homemade gift?
It depends on where I'm at and what I'm doing. It all depends how busy I am too. If I had a lot of, if I was say like in a I don't know, hobby or a project, if I was doing something not work related, but something I did for fun, like say knitting or wood carving or something
Right.
like that, that was like my hobby or whatever, I would make a special thing for
Right.
them. But if I didn't do a lot of that kind of stuff and I was always busy all the go, I probably cash, probably the easier thing to do, or maybe gift cards or things like that than cash. I think gift cards are a little bit better than cash. I think of cash is like such a cop out.
Right.
You know, people say the same thing about gift cards, but I think not, because the gift cards, you really have to. I'm talking about like the ones that are store specific, not the cash gift cards or what do they call them? Credit card gift cards.
Right.
I'm talking about the ones for the specific store or restaurant ones.
Right.
Those ones, you give them to somebody and you know they like this restaurant or they
Right.
like the store and they will actually use that. And it doesn't just like cash will blow on whatever or give it to somebody or whatever, you know. I think I could do that. But if I was doing a hobby or something and I was into doing crafting, I probably would do that instead.
Yeah, I like to opt for the homemade gifts. I'm always trying to be aware though that as I'm making something, like, is this something that will actually be appreciated or am I just making it for me? And so this year, I do provide gifts for all of our classified support staff. It's not a tip per se, but it's a staff gift. And I try to think of something that'll bring a little bit of joy that's not just Christmas specific. But I do like to make at least some of my gifts that I give to the individuals in my life. But for people like, there's some people that provide some services for me in my home. I know that money is what they need most during the holiday season, so I make sure to add just a little bit extra because I know that's really what they need to be able to meet the needs of their family. And so, like you, I think that it depends. I tend to opt for the homemade gifts, but there's a couple that I just do the cold hard cash.
Oh, well, it's fantastic, and the holidays are right around the corner. Happy holidays, everyone, everybody, by the way.
Yeah.
You know?
And we have a couple of more great shows coming up for you before Christmas, so stay tuned with us. And you definitely don't want to stop listening in the next couple of weeks. We appreciate you so much. We appreciate all that you've done to enhance our lives. And so we aren't able to tip you, but what we do give to you every week is great content.
We try to, and here we
do.
are. Here we are. Thank you guys so much for listening and sticking with us. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys. I can't say thank you enough. This
Yeah,
is
and we're
awesome.
just overwhelmed with the support, and we can't wait to be back with you next week for episode 17.
Episode 17 is coming next week, and we'll see you guys then. Have a good week, everybody.
Remember this week that life is too short to wake up in the morning with regret.
So love the people who treat you right, forget about the ones who don't, and believe that everything happens for a reason.
If you get a chance, take it. If it changes your life, let it. Nobody said that it would be easy.
They just promised it would be worth it. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kris.
And I'm Christine, and until next week,
Keep moving forward.